Registered Phenomena Code 523. Object Class Alpha Yellow. Hazard Types: Contact Hazard, Mechanical Hazard, Containment Protocols. RPC-523 is to be held in a standard item containment chamber at Site-057, and is only to be used during testing. At least one living Class CSD is to play RPC-523 every days, as to sustain it. Remains of RPC-523-1 subjects are to be examined, and then disposed of. Description: RPC-523 is a white baby grand piano of Steinway Sons make. RPC-523's anomalous properties manifest when a living human subject, hereby referred to as RPC-523-1, makes physical contact with the object's keys with their hands. Once this occurs, RPC-523-1 will be overcome by a compulsive urge to start playing RPC-523. RPC-523-1 subject will then begin to play a randomly selected piano piece with expert level skill, regardless of if the subject has ever played a piano before, and will not respond to any efforts to stop or remove them from the object. See Test Log 08 for more information. After a random, though usually short amount of time after RPC-523-1 started playing, the subject will begin to decay at an exceedingly rapid rate. Despite this occurring, RPC-523-1 will not stop playing until their body is physically incapable of doing so, at which point the subject will usually be decayed to the point of death. Following this event, any damage that RPC-523 previously sustained, be it structural damage or something as simple as chipped paint, will be repaired to a near-perfect state. If the object goes without a subject to manifest into an instance of RPC-523-1 for an extended amount of time, RPC-523 will begin to degrade over time. Discovery: RPC-523 was discovered in Wisconsin in 1989, in the home of one after an apparent suicide. RPC-523's anomalous properties went undiscovered until the item was being removed from the home at a later date by Teamsters. Reportedly, one of the men was testing out RPC-523 when its anomalous properties manifested. The man, now an instance of RPC-523-1, began to play Clair de Lune, and would not respond to any attempts to get his attention until he began to decay rapidly. Prior to this event, RPC-523 were reportedly in a state of disrepair. Once reports of this incident reached the authority, RPC-523 was quickly secured without further incident. Those that were present for RPC-523's activation were given Class A amnestics, and a cover story was made. It is to be noted that several missing person reports were filed by local police months prior to RPC-523's discovery. However, no remains or other evidence were found at the home. Whether or not RPC-523 and these reports are connected are as of yet unknown. Test Log 05. Subject: 1 Class D Personnel, CSD-68003. Procedure: CSD-68003 is tasked with playing RPC-523. CSD-68003 is a double amputee of the arms, and has had fully functional prosthetics, supplied by the Authority, attached to them for the purpose of testing. Results: CSD-68003 sits down to play RPC-523. Subject taps the keys with the use of the advanced prosthesis they were supplied with, most likely trying to get a feel for them. This goes on for approximately 10 minutes before subject is told to stop. CSD-68003 did not show any signs of manifesting into an instance of RPC-523-1 throughout the duration of the test. Analysis: prostheses are seemingly unable to activate RPC-523's anomalous properties. At this time, contact with RPC-523's keys via the fingers is still the only known activation method. Test Log 06. Subject: amputated arm of 1 CSD personnel. CSD-59534. Procedure: the fingers of the amputated arm will be placed on the keys of RPC-523 with the help of a C-Class staff member. The arm was donated for testing purposes by the Site-57B morgue staff from a deceased CSD, CSD-59534, who had died from an unrelated incident. Results: CSD-53534's amputated arm was made to touch the keys of RPC-523. No anomalous effects were observed during the test. Analysis: yeah, I know it's morbid, but the idea came up as a joke during lunch the other day with Dr. Winden, and it got me thinking. At least now we know RPC-523 needs living subjects to work. Dr. Armstrong, Head Researcher. Test Log 08. Subject: 1 CSD personnel. CSD-75702. Procedure: RPC-523 is placed next to a normal baby grand piano painted black. CSD-75702 is instructed to play the black piano first, and then move to play RPC-523 once instructed. At the time of this test, RPC-523 had gone days without an RPC-523-1 subject, and appears slightly rotted, and with very little white paint left on its surface. 2 Class C personnel will accompany the subject and are instructed to pull them away once they begin to show signs of manifesting into an RPC-523-1 instance. Results: CSD-75702 sits down and attempts to play the black piano, tapping random keys until attempting to play chopsticks. This proceeds until CSD-75702 is instructed to stop and move to play RPC-523. CSD-75702 comments on the state of RPC-523, and questions if playing it would be even possible. Subject is instructed once more to play, and CSD-75702 reluctantly accepts. Once CSD-75702 touches the keys of RPC-523, they begin to play a flawless rendition of Mozart's Requiem. The 2 Class C personnel move to pull CSD-75702, now an instance of RPC-523-1, away from RPC-523. Once CSD-75702's hands are pulled away, they begin to violently retaliate against the 2 Class C, screaming loudly and managing to push both of them onto the ground, before rushing to continue playing RPC-523. By the time one of the Class Cs gets back to its feet, CSD-75702 had already begun to decay at a noticeably more rapid rate. Once CSD-75702 has decayed to the point of collapsing to the ground dead, RPC-523 began to slowly repair itself until it returned to its normal, healthy state. Analysis: I'm starting to think this thing isn't your typical anomalous object. It's more akin to a Venus flytrap than anything else. I think it might be alive. Further testing is required to see if this assumption of mine holds water. Dr. Armstrong, Head Researcher.